Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia and Eritrea for you. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian army, it seems, today warned groups based in the Amhara region. We know that today on a Sunday, rallies were taken out in different parts of Ethiopia to show support for Ethiopian army. I've been monitoring these rallies. I did a video on that in the day. Then we saw that some Ethiopian army officers delivered speeches in Oromia. What did they say? I followed the speeches. I want to share the contents of the speeches. I think they are addressing Amhara hardliners. What did the officers say? Secondly, viewers, Turkey, Erdogan seems to have made it to the presidential palace once again. Third consecutive victory for Erdogan. And lastly, viewers, the confrontation between Eritrean opposition and pro-government diaspora groups continuing in Europe. Last year, we saw serious confrontation involving the two parties, leading to law and order situation. Some were injured, some were arrested. And we're seeing the continuation of this confrontation today, reportedly in the Netherlands. A government-backed Eritrean pro-government organized program was stopped by security officials after a protest by opposition groups, reportedly. We have details and a video clip from the Netherlands for you. Firstly, viewers, as I reported in the day that today protest rallies on Sunday were held in Ethiopia. Rallies in support of Ethiopian army. We saw rallies, not very big but impressive rallies. We saw rallies in Adama, Jema, Burana, Sugar City, and rallies in Hawassa, Sidama, Walaita, and other parts of SNNPR. And the rally participants chanted slogans. They said, "We are with Ethiopian army, Ethiopian defense. We are not with terrorists." Speculations were being made that what was the message and what was the target of these rallies? Was the target Ola, Oromo Liberation Army, or groups based in the Amhara region? And then we saw a statement from Taha Dandia, Oromia Member of Parliament, who opposed today's rallies. He said holding of rallies only in Oromia was a bad message. Strengthening ENDF means lightening ENDF's burden. Conflict should be resolved in Oromia, between Oromia and neighbors. That is the way forward. That is the way of supporting ENDF, Ethiopian army. Ethiopian army officers addressed some of these rallies. What did they say? In Adama, Deputy Commander of Southern Command of Ethiopian National Defense Force delivered a speech. His name is Major General Adamso Alam. Adamso Alam in his speech said that all nationalities are equal for Ethiopian army. Ethiopian army has no role in politics. Those who are tarnishing the image of Ethiopian army, they should stop this thing. Ethiopian army is the last stronghold of the nation. Now, if we analyze the remarks, the words of this general, it's very clear that he's addressing groups based in the Amhara region. Is Ola tarnishing Ethiopian army's name? I don't think so. Ethiopian army never accused Ola Oromian government, Ethiopian federal government, they never accused Ola of tarnishing the image of Ethiopian army. But those groups based in the Amharian, they're being accused in some recent statements by government institutions, government officials, that the groups based in the Amhara region, they're trying to create conflicts, they're trying to topple the government, they are following extremist agendas, they want to create divisions. So it means the army officer addressed groups based in the Amhara region. Today's rallies were a message for the groups based in the Amhara region. I said in the day, if you remember today, that similar rallies were planned in the Amhara region too. Could not be organized. Why? Because obviously it was difficult to convince people to come to rallies to support Ethiopian army while the army is being confronted by Fano fighters and locals in the Amhara region. And in some places, rallies were held, like in Lalibela, but the rallies turned into anti-government protests. So after failure to hold rallies in Amhara, we saw rallies in Oromia, Sidama, SNNPR in support of Ethiopian army. But I would back Tai Dandia's view that such measures of holding rallies in just one or two regions for a federal institution would definitely send a bad message. Is Ethiopian army only Oromia's army, Sidama's army, SNNPR's army? Is it all regions' military? All regions should have been involved in these rallies. Otherwise, they shouldn't have been in rallies. Overall, very strong message from the army to groups in the Amhara region that no signs of reconciliation, no signs of dialogue. Why can't Ethiopian government form some sort of committee to engage these groups based in the Amhara region? This reconciliatory approach is missing so far, I think. Government will have to adopt this reconciliatory approach sooner or later. Secondly, viewers, Erdogan, Turkish Iron Man, is back in power. He was in power. He was fighting for another term, contesting for another term, third term. And today a runoff was held. First round of elections was held on the 14th of May in Turkey. No candidate could secure 50% votes, which is mandatory to be elected as the president. Erdogan back then narrowly missed a victory. He got, I think, 49 point something percent votes. That is why runoff. Second round of election was held today in Turkey. Across Turkey, Erdogan was challenged by Kemal, and reportedly Erdogan has won. Narrow lead, by the way. Kemal and Erdogan's difference of votes was just 3 to 4% last time when I saw the tally. So Erdogan has secured a victory, but I think he had to work a lot. He's being challenged for his actions regarding crackdown on journalists, on opposition politicians, but he has managed to survive. Third term, he has won 14 elections so far, and third presidential term for Erdogan. Let's see what he does in coming days. Erdogan has changed his policy, by the way, lately. I think he has abandoned a confrontationist policy with Arab countries. Now he's trying to improve ties with the UAE, with Saudi Arabia, with Israel as well. Lastly, viewers, Eritrean pro-government and opposition diaspora groups have been confronting each other in Europe since last year. We've been seeing protests by opposition groups to stop Eritrean government-backed celebrations and events in Europe. We saw tensions last year in Sweden, in the Netherlands, and some programs were postponed last year. In London too, there was confrontation with the two sides and some were arrested. And again, we're seeing the same. Today, opposition, Eritrean diaspora members tried to stop a government-backed program in Rijswijk, the Netherlands, and police intervened there, and opposition group members, dozens of them protested, peaceful protest, and reportedly the event was stopped. It is being reported that the event being organized by pro-Eritrean government diaspora groups was cancelled after it had started. The organizers were told to put an end to the program reportedly. And last year, if you remember, some Eritrean opposition groups formed a brigade, a sort of committee to stop all Eritrean government-backed celebrations and festivals held in Europe. Opposition groups say that these festivals are used by Eritrean government for raising of money, for collecting remittances. The money is used to fuel conflicts. Eritrean government is not held accountable. It does not share details of where the money is being spent, donated by diaspora. Diaspora community is blackmailed through these celebrations. Those who don't attend celebrations, they are blackmailed. Their family members in Eritrea are blackmailed. So that is why they have been opposing these celebrations. On the other hand, Eritrean pro-government opposition, pro-government diaspora groups say that these are a few people who are backed by some Ethiopian elements like Tigrayan. Some of them are Tigrayans. They are backed by other countries. They're against Eritrea. They want to create problems for Eritrean government. They don't love Eritrea. They're against Eritrea. So both sides have their positions about these confrontations. Watch a clip from today from the Netherlands, where a pro-government program was postponed reportedly after it had started. Then it was stopped reportedly. Thank you for watching.
ماني كابتن
አይከውን ይመስላል ቤት ይመስላል ወጣመና ፋሚሊ ይመስላል ያ
كابتن مالك
የምዝራ መስላል አራይና ህዝቡ ወካናለው አዋት ከፍስታ ዘይኮን ይገቡ ይዝቃው ከማን ጋር አቶ ኮመን ፌስት ይኮላ እዛ ነገር አልጽ አል ይኮላ መተም ብደገ ዘለው ግን አይ መወዳታቱ ናይ ብገና አምስት ማርኮን ሶሉስ